Hi traders and welcome back. Lockie here. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to set up what is referred to as a multi-chase ATM with NinjaTrader, or an ATM which stands for Automated Trade Management, an ATM that will actually chase the market for you. So the further the market goes, the further we're going to be going into profit. Now, for those of you that do want to see a single touch ATM, which is what we were working on in the previous video, simply just go to the previous video and you'll be able to see a single touch ATM. Now, to quantify, guys, for this video, what I'm going to do is close the trade that we're currently in. I'll close the trade we're currently in, and what we'll do is we'll go and establish, using our simulated data feed once again so we can test our ATM, we're going to go and actually add a multi-touch chase ATM to what we're working on right now. So I'm going to go and grab the ATM we developed in the previous video, and I'm going to go and edit it. Now, what I want to do is down here is I want to edit our stop strategy. So I come in here, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be focusing on this auto trail. Okay, so I'll go to step 1 of the auto trail, and what I actually do is I end up getting 3 little options here. Now, these options are a little bit counterintuitive, so let me take you through the counterintuitive so you get it right the first time. What we'll then do is go and play the ATM. We'll lift that target right at the top of the screen. We'll go and play the ATM with the intent of showing you how this auto trail or multi-touch ATM actually works. So what we're going to do for the purpose of a NASDAQ specific ATM, guys, is we're going to start with the middle box here. Now, the middle box actually refers to how far or how much further you want the trade to move into profit before the auto trail starts chasing. So what I'm going to do in this case is, because it is a NASDAQ and we are going to be looking for, let's say, for example, a 100 tick target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that profit trigger 20. Now, what that means is once the trade hits a further 20 ticks worth of profit, what we're then going to do is we're going to move our stop loss. Now, for the purpose of explanation, we're going to make this one a 10. What we're also going to do over here in the right-hand side is we're going to say the frequency is also going to be 10. So ideally what that means is once we hit the profit trigger of 20, our stop loss is going to move. Now, if you do want to take this even further, ladies and gents, you can use your static auto break even, which I'm going to show you shortly. We can then combine that with an auto trail if we want to, and you can actually have more and more aggressive auto trailing stops. Now, that means you put in a step 2. You can also go and put a step 3. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to put in a step 1. Now, because we've put in what I would refer to as a multi-touch ATM or a multi-touch auto trail, we're going to save that as a brand new template. So we're going to save that as touch 16 pay 10. Okay, so T16 P10 like we did in the previous video, but then we're going to put multi after it. Now, what that says to me is there's a multi-step ATM attached to the back end of this particular ATM. So let's go and save that. All right, so we'll push OK. Okay, so once we've done that, ladies and gents, we come back to literally our strategy parameters window. You'll note over here on the right-hand side, it's automatically picked up the ATM. But what we haven't done is save that as a template. So what I'm going to do is every time I do this, I play the same game. We're going to save that as a template, and what we can save it as, if you would like, 2024 NASDAQ. We've got a 20 tick target. Okay, we've got a touch 16 pay 10, and I'm going to literally just add multi next to it. So I know there's a multi-step ATM built in behind this. So if I do decide that I want to stretch that target for a long range target like a pivot based reversal, then that multi-step ATM is going to be ready to rock and roll. So I've done that. I push OK. I make sure that we've got the right thing selected over here, which we do. And what I'm going to do, guys, is push the buy market button. Okay, we're going to push the buy market button. Immediately, what we want to be looking for is, all right, Lockie, I push my buy market button. I'm literally in my simulated mode. I'm just making sure I've constructed the ATM correctly. What we can do is make the uptrend a little bit more powerful so it moves faster. What we can then do is say, Lockie, let's say this was a 4-point turning bar off a pivot, one of the most powerful reversal signals in the world. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up, let's say here. All right, now the beauty of these 10 tick horizontals, this is what we can do is we say, right, I've moved my target up there, so I can literally just count the horizontals. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. that's 100 ticks towards that's 100 tick target, I should say. Now it saves coming over here, guys, and doing all the fractional numbers and trying to work it out. So for example, NASDAQ, this ATM is just about to trigger, guys, that first step of the ATM, which was touch 16, pay 10. Should be able to trigger now. So as it moves up to that 16 tick mark, absolutely brilliant. You'll see the first phase of the ATM trigger. Okay, that's just occurred. So we now know that is correct, guys, as we did in the previous video. You designed your ATM so it would move your stop loss through to plus 10. That's exactly what's occurred. Now what we're looking for is the next tier in movement. Now, if you're thinking, well, whoa, Lockie, hang on a sec. What was that next tier of movement? Awesome. Just come across here. I've come across here. You can see that that's actually your live ATM running. We're going to watch, guys, to just see when the next trigger occurs. Say, has that actually occurred as we intended it to occur? Right, so right, there we go. So I'm just going to slow this down for a moment. Let me just move this stop back out of the way because I don't want to get picked up. I want to see multiple tiers adjust. The stop loss is readjusted. Now, naturally, I've brought that back down to make sure we don't get stopped out. I can increase these further. So note the frequency we chose. Was every time you move a further 10 ticks in our favor, I would like to make sure that the stop loss moves accordingly. Let me speed it up for you. What you'll eventually get is an ATM that just goes cha-ching, 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 just keeps cha-chinging. Now, every time it does that, naturally you're locking in more profit. A really good way for a junior trader, guys, or a trader with less experience. A great way for a junior trader to tackle a trading session, for example, like the US Open, which moves really, really quickly. You know that every time we move up, as per that defined frequency, the stop loss is auto-trailing the market. And this will just keep going and going and going, as it can go for hundreds of ticks if you want to. So the whole point, guys, of showing you this, and the reason behind the actual ATM is a lot of people, guys, will use a multi-target ATM to chase the market a very, very long way. What I'm going to do in the next video is show you how to establish that multi-target ATM. We are going to use exactly this base ATM and build on that even further, guys, so you can start to set up some multi-target ATMs with a multi-auto trail like we've got here, guys, and you can start to take advantage of these very large trades. So let's move on to the next video.